She was a rising star in the world of reality TV.
I know there's a detective at your house. You need to keep your mouth shut because I'm on my way.
A vivacious, brilliant lawyer who starred in her own series, Loredana Esq, on the Sundance Channel.
This is a felony.
But on a sunny California morning, the legal diva was discovered dead in a grisly scene right out of a horror movie.
There was an extreme amount of blood in that bedroom.
The criminalist in this case said that this was one of the bloodiest crime scenes she's ever seen.
Loredana Nesci had everything going for her. Once a Los Angeles police officer, she had a thriving law practice and a reality TV series that showcased her skills as a tough attorney and a tender mom. Her live-in boyfriend, Robert Reagan, and their son, Rocco, often appeared on the show.
She was very hardworking. She was very goal-oriented. She was very driven. She wanted to conquer the world. And I think she had the drive and the energy to do it.
So who could possibly want her dead? The family lived in Redondo Beach, California, legendary home of surfers and sun worshippers. But on a Wednesday in July, 911 gets a very strange call.
911, may I help you?
Yes, I need the police. Nelson Avenue, Redondo Beach.
It was a very bizarre 911 call. He just says, I need police, and he gives the address of his residence. And then he hangs up. 911 calls back, trying to ascertain, do you need medical, do you need fire? And he's just silent on the other end of the phone.
Hello? Hello, this is the Redondo Beach Police Department. You dialed 911. What's going on, sir? What's going on? Sir, can you tell me what's going on, please?
You can sort of hear him on the other line, but he's not talking. He's not answering their questions.
Hello? Hello?
As they roll up on the house, police have no idea what they might encounter inside. They knock on the door, and no one answers.
So the 911 call came in about 7:15. The police were there by 7:18.
The cops suspect someone might be in danger. Once they do go in, they find a slaughterhouse.
The physical evidence was so much.
Loredana's dead in the master bedroom, a ghastly, jagged gash in her abdomen, and a razor-sharp 15-inch Rambo-style hunting or fishing knife on the floor next to her lifeless and bloody body. Robert returns to the gruesome scene moments later. He first tells police it was all a horrible accident that occurred after a violent argument. Then comes the real shocker. Robert places the blame on the victim, telling cops it's all Loredana's fault.
He claims that during the course of that argument, she slapped him. He hit her back by way of a slap, and then she punched him.
He claimed that he had then gone into the bathroom to hide because he was afraid of her.
And finally, when she calmed down, that's when he came out of the bathroom.
And he said that she had armed herself with this large hunting knife.
And then what happened?
According to Robert, there was a struggle to gain control of the knife.
He claimed that the knife accidentally went into her. She gurgled, and she stopped making any noise, and he knew that she was dead.
The entire deadly fight happening with their 5-year-old son Rocco asleep in the room down the hall. Investigators comb the scene, trying to make sense of it all. They want to know, could Robert be telling the truth? Is that really the way it went down? Could this possibly have been an accidental death?
In my investigation, I kind of gave him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe she is somebody who gets upset and arms herself when she argues with whoever she's in a relationship with. Maybe she is that person who's so passionate that when she gets upset and it gets to hitting each other, that all of a sudden a weapon of some kind comes out.
Men can be victims of domestic violence.
Of course, absolutely they can.
And they can be victims even from the most petite of women.
Sure they could.
And for Robert's good friend, Greg Jacobson, there's no question what really happened.
He just went through a tragic accident where he was in a domestic scuffle. that his girl pulled out a knife and she ended up dead.
Why are you so convinced that it was an accident?
I don't believe that in any way he attacked her. He's not that kind of guy. He's very passive. He's a pacifist. She would say negative things to him, disparaging things, and he would just laugh it off.
There was one part of Robert Reagan's behavior that he couldn't laugh off. As police later learned, he waited nearly 5 hours to call 911.
There's the incident itself, and then there's what he does after she's been stabbed.
Yes,
He didn't call 911 right away.
correct. He was literally within an arm's reach of a phone to call 911, and he didn't.
I think that he didn't know what to do, and he certainly didn't do what he should have done, which was call 911 and get help for her.
What was Robert Reagan up to during those 5 missing hours? For one thing, he called relatives from San Diego for them to come and get little Rocco, he said, to protect the child from what was now a house of horrors.
What did the brother and sister say? Had they been told, you know what, Loredana is dead, I need help with Rocco? What did
Yes.
they think they were walking into?
That there had been an argument and that Loredana was dead in the home, and that he was claiming it was an accident.
So they were coming to help. They
Yes.
really didn't know what had happened.
Correct.
Up next, was it a tragic accident, or is Robert hiding a dark secret?
He owed lots of people money.
And the other 911 call that comes back to haunt him.
Robert, leave. You already heard me. Leave.
It's been described as if she had been gutted.
I think given the size of the wound, I think that's fair to say. A 7-inch gash going up your torso is pretty substantial.